Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be about all of the different passing settings, or at least the usable passing settings in college football 25. So if you haven't played a football game since NCAA 14 and this is your first introduction back into the world of football gaming, a lot of change over the years. So going over to these settings, so you go to passing type. You can't do this when you're actually in game, but you can do this in practice mode as well as when you're like in the main menus of the game. So all of the options we have, you're gonna default be on revamp passing, which I think is usable. But in my opinion, the best passing settings are gonna be placement and accuracy, and then we're gonna scroll down here, pass lead increase, and then I think anywhere from basically 6 to 12 is good. And then in terms of what these all mean, so placement and accuracy, this is going to give you that meter. That's the accuracy aspect of it. And then placement is the freeform aspect of it. So you're going to be able to hold the left trigger and then use your left stick to aim where you want to put the ball. Placement is basically that same thing, except they take the accuracy meter away from you, and it's based on the player ratings. So I would definitely lean towards placement and accuracy. And in classic, this is probably the most simple version. This is what you're used to if you played NCAA 14. So that's going to be when it comes to that. And then passing slowdown, this is not something that you can do online, but if you're more of an offline guy, you just want to get used to the mode or the new passing settings, this is something that you can turn on. And then pass lead increase. So this is basically the area in which you can actually hit a receiver. So the bigger this is, the more you have control of where the ball goes. The downside here is the bigger this area is, the more likely you're going to throw the ball outside of your receiver's catch radius. So if you're on small, it pretty much is only around in an area where you can click on and take your receiver to the ball. Versus medium, that area gets a little bit bigger, and towards the edges of the radius, think of it like a circle, towards the edges of that radius, it's going to be a lot tougher for you to hit it, because if you're throwing like a bullet pass and you throw it all the way to the edge of either medium or large, your receiver's not going to be able to get there. Versus with small, even if you throw it all the way to the edge of one of those radiuses, you can click on and make that catch. But medium and large are definitely usable, but it's a much larger skill gap, so I wouldn't recommend it if you're new to the whole freeform passing type of thing. And then radical speed, this is how fast you're able to move within that given radius. So think of it kind of like the sensitivity within a first-person shooter type of game. So the lower it is, the slower it's gonna be, and then the higher it is, the faster it's gonna be. So if you kind of are starting off, I would definitely recommend having this a little bit slower, especially if you want to play around with the larger pass lead increases. But radical speed, I think anywhere from roughly 6 to 12 is a good sticking point. I've usually, like past Madden games, I've been on 12, but I've really been liking kind of the 6-7 range. So for me, that's what I'm running with. And then reticle visibility and meter visibility, keep both of these on so you can get that visual feedback in terms of, oh, did I release it too early? Am I holding the button too long? So you'll see here. So now let's look at actually how to freeform and then the application in game that it actually has. So let's look at Hudson on the left here. This is a cover one, so he's going to press me, and then I'm just going to show you how without freeform there's a lot of passes that you can't really make. So you see there, we get the breakup. He has jumping over to the replay. So my guy, he gets beat off the, or we beat him off the line, and we have a lot more than a step on him. And I pass led this up and outside, kind of like a 10 o'clock pass lead. And as you can see, the DB has time to come and give us a pass breakup. So if you freeform, however, you can have much more like customization in terms of where you're actually going to put the ball. So I'm going to drop back, freeform, of course we get hit. So as you can see there, jumping over to the replay. So as you can see with this one, we get the exact same animation. He beats him off the edge, he kind of trips and stumbles a little bit. And this was also an inaccurate pass. So we had pressure all in our face, and I pass led that same way, but I just held left trigger. And as you can see, we get the ball a lot more out ahead of our receiver, and we possession caught it, allowed us to get down. So one more time. and we're just getting absolutely obliterated by this Auburn D-line. But you can see the thought process. We get out ahead and actually give a chance for our receiver to go and run underneath the ball. So tap the button, hold left trigger, and of course we get another inaccurate, and we still catch the ball. So freeform is much more superior. You can kind of do this as well if you want to use revamp passing. So I'm going to try the exact same thing with revamp passing. I've just found that with revamp, there is a couple of things that you can do here that you can't necessarily do with freeform. Like you can back shoulder, but when it comes to like just trying that fade ball, I just don't like it. I don't get nearly as much control. That's with the exact same pass lead. And that was actually a good one. But so you can use this, but I just prefer the previous passing settings that I showed you guys. So yeah, you see he still kind of gets that hit animation, so it could possibly do a breakup. But things like back shoulders are a lot easier with the revamp passing. But overall, that's going to be it. I hope this kind of shows you how all of the passing settings work if you're new to kind of football games since NCAA 14. So once again, placement and accuracy, pass lead increase small, and anywhere from kind of, I say 6 to 12, but really like 4 or 5 is also good too. So thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one.